CBS 46 News presents Public Affairs on Peach.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Public Affairs on Peach. I'm Giovanna Derpick. This week's program is an in-depth look at dangerous dogs, due in part to a pair of recent stories. Now, the first occurred on Tuesday, January 17th. A 6-year-old boy and 5-year-old girl were walking to their school bus stop in southwest Atlanta when 2 dogs attacked them. Logan Bratz, the 6-year-old, unfortunately died. We want to warn you that 911 calls are chilling.
This grown man chasing the dogs with Dexter sticks and he just keep attacking kids. Oh my God, this little boy is like, oh my God.
How's the little girl doing with the face injury?
She's laying out on the ground bleeding.
5-year-old Sarai Sanders survived her injuries. Her family shared this video with us. Sarai told her parents she isn't scared of dogs, just the pit bull and the pit bull mix that attacked her. And this past Monday, about a mile away from the previous attack, a man was found unconscious in northwest Atlanta, the victim of another dog attack. He suffered serious injuries to his face and head. Now, one of the dogs, a pit bull, was shot and later put down. Animal Control caught the other one. Joining me now are the 2 attorneys for the Bratz family, Andy Goldner and Josh Stein. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, when you initially were talking to reporters, you talked about that little Logan was supposed to be watching the NFC Championship, and instead the family was preparing the funeral. So many people were so touched by this. How is the family doing?
They're doing okay, about as good as you can expect under the circumstances. They're trying to come to grips with what happened, and they're starting to ask some difficult questions.
What is it that they want the public to know?
I think a few things. First, no one in their family has called for any breed-specific ban. What they would like the public to know is that they would like for this tragedy to be the beginning of a discussion, at least in our metro community, about what can be done.
Safety of people in the community. Now, Josh, if you can talk to us about the facts, what have you found?
Sure. First off, thank you for having us here today. I think it's important that we're continuing this dialogue to make the awareness that Logan's family wants, getting this message out, and as Andy said, pushing for some change. You know, the facts are something they're developing every day. There's a criminal investigation obviously going on against the dog owner, and so we're being very cognizant of that and working with the police department as we can. The family has questions, you know, about the dogs itself. They have questions about the dog owner.
Like what?
How long has he had these dogs? How many dogs does he have? How does he train them? Has he registered these dogs as he's supposed to with the county? What is the manner that he keeps the dog? Are they inside dogs? Are they outside dogs? Is there a proper fence around the outside of the house? Have these dogs gotten out before? Have these dogs attacked before? How did they get out that day? When he found out they got out, what did he do? How long had they been out before he realized it? You know, these are all things that, you know, time will give us the answers to this. But as you can imagine, you know, these are the first questions the family's asking as to how did this happen to Logan.
What do you think would surprise people about this case and what it says bigger picture-wise?
Well, I think first of all, the second attack that occurred a few days after Logan's death, I think shocked people. There have been varying reports on exactly how close the attack was to the one upon Logan, but we know that it was close. So I think a lot of people were surprised and shocked that that was allowed to happen again. That would be the big thing.
What about changes in the neighborhood? What changes have been made so far or are being talked about?
Well, there have been some changes already. First, the school bus stop that the kids were walking to on the day when Logan and Sarai's attacks occurred has been moved closer to where these kids live, and that's certainly a good step in the right direction. The neighborhood is certainly being more vigilant about dogs that are still roaming free. We've heard stories from neighbors that they're walking now with sticks and canes and other protective mechanisms. I think we can all agree that needs to change.
What about you? What do you think that needs to be addressed?
So, you know, one of the things that the family is pleased about is that there's already been public meetings about what can be done. Earlier last week, a subcommittee of the City Council called the Atlanta Public Safety and Legal Administration Committee. They had basically a special session that was held where 4 or 5 of them got together to brainstorm and come up with ideas to present to the full City Council early February. That's a good start. That is the local level call to action that needs to happen. We've also been speaking with state legislators who are, I believe you'll be talking to one of them here this morning. From a state level, they are working with the local individuals to put together some sort of a heightened, increased legislation, dog laws, leash laws, whatever you want to call them, that will curtail this, because there were multiple attacks in the same neighborhood in the last week, and we've got to stop this.
And do you think that the onus should belong on the dog owner, on the rules? What?
So that's a great question, and it's one that's been debated all throughout our community, if not the country, after these 2 attacks. And I think that, as with many things, the truth lies somewhere in between. First, if you take a look at breeds specifically, what we know from the statistics is that from 2005 to 2015, Rottweilers and Pit Bulls were responsible for about 75% of dog-related fatalities in the United States. And we know also that they comprise approximately 6% of the dog population. Those are wildly out of balance. In 2015, Rottweilers and Pit Bulls were responsible for in excess of 90% of dog-related fatalities. So it simply cannot be denied anymore, even if one assumes that those statistics are skewed in some fashion. It cannot be denied that breed type plays a role. Likewise, as we've said before, it cannot be denied that the way that any particular breed is raised by its owner plays a role in that dog's disposition.
So we need to take a closer look at the statistics and closer look at the laws currently on the table. Well, we want to thank you, gentlemen, for joining us, and of course, our condolences to the family.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And when Public Affairs on Peach resumes, attacks like the ones we just talked about have put pit bulls in the spotlight. Supporters say it's not the dog, it's the owner. We're going to take a look at that debate when we return. Stay with us.